Alright, what's up guys? This is going to be a Barbarian fight guide analyst. You know, if you've seen my previous videos where I've done pretty much a gameplay analysis of like my fights as a fighter, it's pretty much going to be that. Obviously, just from the perspective of a Barbarian instead, because obviously that's the class I'm playing. Honestly, these fights are gonna be pretty fast, so it's gonna be hard to really analyze it. There will be some useful stuff because I have looked over them since the fight, so there will be some useful information I can give you. However, for the most part, Barbarian plays a lot differently than Fighter in the sense of the fights go much quicker and there's much less like thought process going into what I actually have to do. However, with that being said, I am going to, you know, go over this. So I'm not, or actually, yeah, I'm not gonna have the sound on this fight specifically. If you're interested in watching this full fight or the full run, this is up on my YouTube. It's the last video I just posted of the Immortal Barbarian. I think it's in the thumbnail, so feel free to check that one out. But if not, I'll play this one. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna play this sound just so you guys can hear it, just for all intents and purposes. All right, lower the sound a bit. Okay, okay, you should be hearing. So just what starts here is this is a pretty good tip that you'll see. Is my wizard's calling their people here, and I'm coming up to him. He says it's plate, so I know it's a fighter or cleric. And one key factor here is so we know they're there, and they could know we're there. But the thing is, I'm asking them to buff me before because you never want them to see you get buffed. Because if you can go invis before they see you, as you can see, he hastes me here. He invises me, and I don't use my spells. That's a very key thing. So if I don't use my spells, he doesn't know I'm engaging. And you see, this is unlucky because it's in the spot, but they know I'm coming because I jump over the trap and it activates. Like you see this right here, so they know I'm here. And so this is something really important. So for example, this isn't really like specifically gameplay, but because I'm a barb here and not a fighter, I eat a fireball to the face. This cleric is earthquaking me, and yeah, I'm gonna take damage stepping through it, but look at my health bar. Like it doesn't matter. Now I'm on this cleric. This is something else that's very important. Is you wanna prioritize the right target here, right? So you see, I'm in this spot where right here I could go for the fighter up on his own, or I could run straight to the wizard. However, the fighter could take a bit longer to kill, especially because of this area that he's in. I can't swing my maul as well right there because he's in that tight corridor. I mean, the cleric is too, but you see I'm going to position myself in a way that I can swing at him much easier. Whereas if I were going after the fighter, I would be looking up the stairs at him, which automatically makes it harder to hit him because if I do, I'm only going to hit him in the legs for partial damage. And I'm swinging in a very like tight area instead of like a wide area. Like whenever I push here, and on this cleric, you see I turn sideways, so I'm facing the wall, so I have a much wider area to swing in rather than being turned towards the door, so that my area is much more closed in. I kill the cleric, and you see I'm taking damage here. Normally, I was going to step at the fighter here. I start taking a magic missile in the back, and then I start backing up here. That was just something, I mean, you see, like, I'm just, like, crouching a bit here and stuff, trying to dodge attacks as much as possible, because with the range he's at, he's just barely in range of me, so if I crouch, and because he's aiming at my head here, if I crouch, it's much easier for him to aim over my head. And see, this right here is something else, is you don't want to panic and run too far away from your cleric. You see, I'm literally standing in front of him and just saying, heal me, heal me, heal me. Because if I run away, then he has to try to turn and try to hit a heal on me, and it could just be bad. You always want to try to put yourself in the best possible spot to heal. And the thing is, even if I'm to run away here, the odds, like, let's say if the wizard's going to fireball me in this spot, right? Like, me running a little bit farther down this hallway isn't going to save me from a fireball at this point. However, if I do run, there's a chance my cleric can miss the heal because he expects me to stop, or whatever. So just stand still, wait for the heal. You get the heal, and then you can immediately start repositioning. Another important thing there, you see certain spells, you tell your teammates to look out because my cleric, you see he's looking directly at me. He's not necessarily staring at this wizard. You want to call out what's happening. Once again, this isn't like barb stuff. It's just general game sense. You want to give your teammates as much knowledge as possible. This right here is something else. This is something you could do specifically on Barb. If you see a wizard charging chain lightning, you want to sprint at him because you see here he chained himself. And what you're gonna end up seeing is honestly this is really bad. I miss like all my Franciscus here. This was stupid. I see this was a misplay. Pulling out my maul here was awful. I did it thinking I'm just gonna sweep the hallway in case he tried to double back, but then I messed up and hit the thing. However, I never should have done this. I should have just started punching or even pull out my Viking sword and swing it. Swinging the maul here was a bad play. And you see he ran as I wouldn't have caught him anyways. Once again, here throwing Francisca's. I'm just like, I couldn't hear him here because the audio bugged, which it does with invis, and you can't tell where they're going.
Somewhere in here.
But I tell, I see him go back. And then he goes invis here, but I mean, I was always going to throw it at the door because that's his only way out. And I do actually catch him here.
Oh my god, I'm the goat!
And you see, I am in fact the goat. I do hit him with that, catch him invis, kill him, and then my wizard ends up killing the fighter. And that pretty much ended up for that fight. And now I'm going to go to one more that I believe is right around here.
Oh, no, I agree.
No.
Play right.
Let me just, okay.
Get ready to fight.
And we hear players here. We know there are players in this hallway. I'm trying to see what happens. Does my wizard call it out or do I? Let me see here.
Is that that's the main player, right? Oh, right in front of us.
Yeah, my wizard calls it out because I'm pretty sure he saw them or heard them. And I'm just, make sure you're probably killing the ads first. It's a front line. That's always your job. You don't want to ever run past mobs and leave them for your team to deal with because you kill them faster and it's much harder for them to do it. And once again, you're going to sit here. I'm saying buff me. So I go around the corner. I can scout here invis, and then I can hide behind this corner. And you're saying, pretty much, this is exactly how this comp is played, is just every single fight, you engage with haste invis. I look there. He's taking a while to do it. I'm asking him to haste me here and buff me.
Wait for him to come close, maybe.
Careful, they could on him. We're just trying to listen for them here to see if they're pushing, so we can get a better engage on them because there's a little bit of distance. They're running. They backed up. The reason I threw the torch here is to make sure I'm checking for traps so I don't, because if I run down the hallway and it's dark, I don't want to run with my torch out because then they can see the light coming. That's a fun fact. If you're invis and you're holding a torch or lantern, they can still see the light. They can't see you, but they will see the light coming. And so I don't want to have to do that so they can see me. So I want to light it up in case there was potentially any traps I could look at. However, they did back up, so it didn't really matter. Careful traps. Right here, they're on this door here. They're on this door here. And you see, this right here is why Smash is so good. I don't have to play footsies opening and closing this door constantly. I took a little bit of poke here, but it's fine because obviously they're trying to hold this spot. I have to be careful. See where the traps are? There's one right there. Oh wait, here. Heal me, invis me. I wanted to try to disarm the trap, but they're just holding it. So this here is the best play. I just get in here, get right on the ranger. This right, I almost mess up right here because I didn't swing up because I was worried that he might duck it. So I swung a little bit too low and he jumped right over it. It made a really nice play on his part. This is part of the problem with swinging Warmaul on stairs is the elevation. If people are above you, sometimes it makes it really hard to actually hit them because they can jump it much easier. And then I was out of range, and so I was kind of just kept swinging. I get him here, and I catch him with the last end. And this here, so I'm chasing this guy with my Warmaul out, right? Because the thing is, I don't want to push into him because he has his sword out. So one, I know I'm not much slower, if any slower in him at all, even with his sprint pop, because I do have my rage pop. However, if I put my Warmaul up and he turns on me here, I'm at a disadvantage because then I have to pull my Warmaul back out to swing at him, so I'm chasing him with it on. And I know they don't really have much of an area to go. Even if they keep running this way, they're going to run into a dead end. That just comes with knowing the map. Or they're going to run into a door they have to open. And with their cleric being the first one to lead, he's not going to open that door fast enough.
They had to heal.
See, they run into can't go anything here. I end up catching up to him, and I'm just swinging the Warmaul at him. Body blocking him. Once again, this is just this right here, what I just did, very, very basic mechanic. Always try to position yourself in between a cleric and whoever they're trying to heal. Like, as long as you don't need your cleric to heal you to win the fight, always try to do that because that makes their cleric. Usually, if they try to heal, they'll end up either healing you or they won't be able to do it at all, so they'll have to pull out their weapon and try to hit you. And if you know you win the fight without them being healed, it's always the best play. However, obviously, if you need the heals more than they do, then you want to stay with your cleric right behind you and prevent them from getting in between you. And then, you kill that guy. And that's pretty much like you just saw two fights that basically went the exact same way. The first one was a bit sloppier than the second. But these are just buff ball comps that are very, very easy. Something fun to note here. Actually, let me go back to the first fight just to show you what I really mean by how broken this is. Let me see if you can see it right here. So I kill this guy.
Cleric's dead.
If you look at my...
I'm one. Careful, I'm low.
If you look at my cleric here, my cleric has no cape on. My cleric in this fight was undergeared. We did one run before this where we went into normals and my cleric was completely naked with 0 gold. We did one run to get the gold for high rollers, and then we jumped into high rollers, and then we had this game here. I think was this our normal game? Hold on, let me check. I had to let me just check this really quick. I had to see the lit. I see the lit. Y'all know if it's high roller. Yeah, it's this is yeah. So this is low roller. We did one low roller, and then we immediately jumped into high roller. Then we get this game where we killed a super geared team right here. Because if I could actually show you the loot. Let me see if I loot the cleric after. Oh wait, did I check the cleric? Maybe I didn't check the cleric. Yeah, I don't think I checked the cleric. I think I told him to check it. But the cleric was like full +2 all gear, and then the next cleric we kill right here. Once again, I don't think I checked the cleric. See, this right here is something else that's very important. Is so we just won this fight. You want to immediately place down a campfire if you can. If your cleric isn't chugging clarities constantly, which sometimes they don't, or sometimes it's just not that good, or sometimes, it's better to put a campfire down. After the fight, especially like my job, I have nothing else to do. Especially when the body's right here. Looting is not as important as putting that campfire down and getting your spells ready and your HP back up in case you get third party right away. Because if we get third partied and our cleric has no spells, we are effectively playing down one character compared to another team that has a cleric that has spells or has a bard, you know? So that's something very important. Like you see, I do it here and I do it in this fight right here. Literally, first thing I do, we kill them. I don't even loot the bodies yet. I put a campfire down. Because the thing is, like right here where we are, those bodies aren't going anywhere. We have plenty of time to loot them. Even we end up even sitting in the zone, I think, for a second, or he does. Like I said, these bodies aren't going anywhere, but you want to be sure that you don't get third partied. Even if we lose like one body worth of loot to something, like it's better to lose the loot on people you kill than it is to lose the gear you came in with because you weren't able to heal, you know? Because as long as we get that campfire down and we get our spells back, we have a chance to get bodies and we keep our stuff. But if we get third partied and we have no like we don't have our spell users back or we're low HP or whatever, we just have to run away and forfeit it, or we die outright. Oh yeah, but anyways, I think this should sum up my analysis of these two fights. I hope you guys learned a bit. I mean, I'm gonna be honest, like there's not a whole lot to learn here. I think if anything, the best thing to take from it is this right here. Specifically, what I was talking about here is whenever with this comp, using like you have 5 sets of haste invis. That is 5 chances to engage a fight. Like you see what I do here, I scout them with haste invis. Right, I turn this corner, I immediately now know what their team comp is: cleric, ranger, fighter. And knowing what a team comp you're fighting against is one of the best pieces of information you can have because knowing what the comp is lets you know how you need to play, and more importantly, it lets you know how they want to play. Ranger, fighter, cleric, how they want to play. They want to play defensive. They want to get you in bear traps. They want to catch you in earthquakes. Like you see, that's just and after that you have all the chance in the world to engage. Then that was just one of our 4 uses of haste invis. We still have 4 more. See, he used another one here, or he used another one there. We get here. Guess what? He still got 3 sets and only takes one more. Haste, invis. I run in here, right on the ranger. Bop, bop, miss, miss, bop, bop. Fight's over, just like that. Now chase these guys down and obliterate them with the war maul. And this right here is literally that's just how you play Barbarian. Super easy, incredibly straightforward. 90% of your gameplay will consist of you sitting around a corner from a team saying, buff me, buff me, buff me. You run in, you swing, swing, swing. All 3 are dead. Good happy times. Yeah, that sums up the video. If you guys have any questions, then feel free to leave them below. If you feel like I missed anything or I could have done anything better, obviously I could have done stuff better with that first wizard in that first fight. I could have chased him down in a significantly better way. Pulling out my maul was kind of griefed, and I kind of came down to getting a lucky Francisca on him. But yeah, if you enjoyed, feel free to like, subscribe, and like I said, if you have anything you want to talk about, feel free to comment. I always try my best to respond or at least like them, but I will always see them if nothing else. Yeah, till next time, boys. Peace.